Okay, boys, something a little bit different today. We're going to watch some Turtles footage. Behind the scenes. This was a month ago on .emu. There's another video, I believe, yesterday or today. So we're going to watch the first one that I never got around to watching.
It feels amazing to work on a TMNT game. Really, it's really a passion project.
If I were going back in the past and telling my younger self, like, hey, you're gonna work on a TMNT game, I would be like, what?
How's
like,
the volume,
it's amazing,
guys?
yes. So yeah, it feels pretty cool.
Whoa, 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 whoa. I'm doing good, Wolf White, how you doing?
We grew up with TMNT. I remember
All the figures. Did anyone else love figures as a kid? I was obsessed with action figures and WWF figures, and yeah, I was obsessed with figures as a kid. Anytime I went to a car boot sale with my dad and saw like a box, you had like 20 figures for £1. I was like, oh, I need them, dude. Like, you don't know how hard it is to get figures. Like, normally pay 10 quid for a figure. I get one every Christmas and one every birthday. We're at a boot sale and there's 200 wrestlers in this box. Get me this box. I was so obsessed with them as a kid. Yeah?
Grew up
You guys were too?
I remember at Halloween dressing up as Donatello. It's always been like really present in my childhood.
So Donatello is your favorite?
Actually, Raphael is my favorite.
Because we're already working on Streets of Rage 4,
You
we
have
already
one
had
turtle.
in mind
You did, Lebo?
to do Beat Them Up. We started
The
discussing
Cyril
with-
Imber, this is the executive producer, also on Streets 4 with Geordie, right? This is one of the main Streets 4 devs.
Nickelodeon, and then we met at GDC, and they told me that someone else was pitching the same kind of project than we were pitching.
And yeah, we just decided to join forces.
Yeah.
The decision to go for the 87 TMNT is really because that's what we grew up with, and that's where our heart stayed. Yeah.
I think also that's what fans really wanted to see as well. There was a lack of seeing some 87 design coming back in some sort of way, and with a retro game, it just makes sense. Working on the team.
Yeah, I agree. Like, there's been a long time since we've seen something like Turtles come back. Streets 4 was different because it was completely modernized and completely unique. You don't look at Streets 3 and look at Streets 4. You almost wouldn't even know it's the same game. Right? Other than the iconic enemies like the Gaussian Donovan signals. Like, if you just saw Streets 4 and it was Cherry and it was on a stage with an enemy you've never seen before, you might not even know it was Streets 4. That's how different it looks. But this Turtles remake at least is being made to look like an old Turtles game. I don't like the jaggedness of the game right now. I wish it had that like smooth Streets 4 curve that all the characters have around them.
The license is great, but working on a TMNT
But
license
I am
from
interested to
that
play
era
it.
is even greater because it just like makes so much nostalgia for us and for the people we work with. It just made sense basically.
Yeah, all the research was already done. Our kid self
Exactly.
did all
Is
the
this
work
some of the
back then,
cutscenes in the game?
So it
Is
was
that the
really,
intro?
It was really exciting to go back to that. Yeah. I think also the beat 'em up genre was really at its prime around the 90s.
You want the smoothness of 4, yeah.
So it just made sense to go back to that design and that era.
Look, they're all sharp in the cutscene, right? Straight black lines. But then you see the gameplay and it's like, could have made it look cleaner, but they're intentionally trying to make it look older. And I don't know how that's going to play out. Hopefully the game's amazing and it doesn't matter. But visually, Streets 4 is amazing to look at and play.
We really wanted to show people where we were going for, and that's why we choose as well to do a fully animated trailer with the original track from the show. I knew that people would love what you guys did because the pixel art is just amazing, the animation is amazing, and it's just exactly what people were looking for. So I was pretty confident it was going to work out.
I feel like the TMNT games were really at its prime during the arcade era of the 90s. So it only made sense to go back to the
I feel the 2D Turtles games are better than 3D games made later.
When we started working on the project, it all came back to me, kind of like even the toys I had back in the days, the ones that I really cherished, and that we could see in the game. It was super exciting because in the end, like, you can relive that period, and with a game like that.
Here we go. This is what I'm talking about, right? Clean looking cutscene, just like Streets 4, very clean, and then you get into the game, and it looks like this.
Game like
this, like scraggly stuff around the characters. Mind you, the whole art style is like that. When you look at like pavements and things, and the objects and everything's in that style, so it kind of fits it. I think if it had the smooth Streets 4 look on the characters, but the background looked like this, it would look out of place as well. So they'd have to redo everything, which is obviously not going to happen. But it looks a bit scraggly to me.
That, especially with those beautiful,
which I guess is their aim, right?
With that design.
To look like old, but be a bit, be modern.
Dotemu and Tribute Games.
To me, I just don't get the same feeling when I look at Streets.
When I looked yesterday a bit at your office, and there is someone in your team working on old consoles already. You know, like it's just the same. It feels at home almost.
Looks awful, super pixelated.
We share a lot of things in common in that regard. Like you guys have done so many remakes and taken some.
The hand-drawn animation from 4 has to be so much slower and more expensive. Yeah, way more time-consuming. Here we go. Here we go.
We started working on, at least on the project of doing a new TMNT beat them up, and I really like the fact that you guys had a different approach.
I think there's obviously going to be a comparison with TMNT and Streets of Rage,
and yes, there is, because there's not many modern beat-em-ups. Unfortunately, we said this before, Streets 4 is going to be like the holy standard of modern beat-em-ups, and every one that comes out will be instantly compared with 4 in different ways.
Yes, they're beat-em-ups, but they have totally
That's the trouble when you make such a good game.
Dynamics. So yeah, I think it's really good that you guys have that experience and you shared that with us.
Holy hit stop, Batman! Jesus! April's got Max 2 Super. That's Max 2's alt star, isn't it? From Street. Comparing. Oh my god.
This is actually the second TMNT game that I've worked on. I also worked on the TMNT game for Game Boy Advance.
It'd take ages to make Compressor.
Really a dream back then. It still had its limitations, like the Game Boy Advance doesn't have a
How the hell is that followable? I don't know. That screams chaos. My eyes are gonna hurt playing this. Doesn't sound good in the
like
gang.
A second chance at really doing the best project that we could imagine.
Congrats to the Tribute Games team, because it's been a tough development process, especially with the current
say it
situation with COVID-19. But
what? Oh, I got debated. I thought he was going to say especially with the impending Streets of Rage 4 patch update.
It's been a tough development process, especially with the current situation with COVID-19.
Yeah,
the result is great, so really looking forward to it.
Damn it! I thought that was patch news. Dude, I think it's gonna be okay. I'm gonna enjoy it. I'm gonna enjoy it for sure.
We all know with us.
It does look a bit janky though, that's my only concern. But gameplay looks fast. And I'll say this, if you can play this game online with 3 friends, I think that would be pretty good, because you can't on Streets of Rage 4. Streets of Rage 4, the online is laggy and horrible. And you can only play with 2 people, and then you have to get parsec, and then you have to Discord each other, and it's very awkward to play with 4 players. Unless you have 4 people living in your house, but it's not going to happen in this day and age. We need modernized internet gaming. So, if you can play 4 players on this quite easily, I think it will help the game a hell of a lot. For sure. I wouldn't mind smashing this out with three people from the gang. But whether that's good connection or not, we don't know, because Streets 4 wasn't very good connection. Anyway, that's the first video. Looking good. Can't wait to watch the others.